Hi, this is Jim Smith, and thank you for watching. Today, this series, I should have started with that, is about driving. Currently, I am driving. I don't know if you can tell by backlights and stuff like that, but I am driving. Now, I drive about 52,000 miles a year. Sorry about the dead air there. Speed limit's 45. I'm going 42. Okay, I'm going to just say some things here. Driver ahead of me, probably about a football field, half of a football field. His right taillight is out. So, if you're not totally paying attention and see the reflection of the license plate that's to the right, you might think that's a motorcycle. That being said, and that being totally irrelevant to what I was going to say before, signal light, turning left, making sure everything's safe, checking mirror, looking shoulder. Okay? I kind of say what's going on in my mind while I'm driving, because honestly, whatever you take this as, I really would like to teach people to drive fucking better. It's pretty shitty how there's so many accidents, because I bet you all of them, outside of, really, technically, all accidents could be prevented, right? When I lived in Japan, I had to get a SOFA status license, which really didn't mean anything other than studying the Japanese signs. I didn't have to take a driving test. But I did have to be aware of their rules. Speed limits, signs, warnings, things like that. Alerts. Things to do if signs aren't around. What's the speed limit if signs aren't around? What do you do in construction zones? What do you do in when there's like police or fire? Things like that. So, and I passed that test and I got that license. And in Japan, one of the things that they do, shoulder check, turn left signal. This is a 3 left turn lane, so I really didn't need to do that shit. I did that just to make you wet in your pants. So we got 3 turn lanes. But in Japan, if you're in an accident or an incident, everyone takes partial fault because they believe that you don't have to be driving, so you, by hopping in your car and turning on the key, you accept some responsibility for whatever happens, be it nothing or something. And logically, that's pretty sound, I think. However, if you're sitting at a fucking red light, regardless, doesn't matter who's sitting at the red light. If there's a fucking red light, that means there's goddamn traffic, right? And if you blow a fucking red light, just, kill a pedestrian or hit a car, you need to take some responsibility for that. You should take all the responsibility for that. So, fuck, I gotta get gas. Shit. One thing you should always make sure is that you have enough gas. I kept meaning to get that before and I kept forgetting. That's what I do. I always keep forgetting because I do other things. Anyway, so we're talking about U.S. rules anyway, and it doesn't really matter about who's at fault, because what we're doing here, we're trying to avoid accidents. Watch me get in an accident tonight while I try to tell you how to avoid accidents. I have no wood. Maybe I should get a boner. Anyway, so first thing you can do is take care of yourself, right? So be of sound mind, body, blah, 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 blah. Make sure your car's good to go, though. I'm driving an unfamiliar car, so when I was in California, I'm in Arizona right now, I did a walk around, and I noticed that there was a headlight out, and then I noticed a few things, and for me, know what? I really like to avoid being pulled over by cops. You know, that's awesome. If you can be a void, if you can be a void in someone's life, that's awesome. Like if that's your mom and you're just a big void in her life, like she doesn't mind. Anyway, that's weird, but it's true. Anyway, so what I'm going to do in these videos is kind of, hopefully people will learn to think about others while they're driving. You know, I'm going to say one thing and then I'll cut to another video because this video will go too long. But this is something my mother gave me, funny thing. But if you're, let's say, at 2 or more lanes going a certain direction, and there's a right turn to be had at a stoplight, or especially at a stoplight. Let's just say it's at a stoplight. So you got 2 or more lanes, and you're the only car pulling up to the stoplight. Where would be a good place to stop? Well, at the stoplight, first of all. But second of all, where would you want to stop? The first, second, or third lane. Let's just keep it 2 lanes. Let's keep it simple. You know? So you have the right lane, the left lane in the ongoing traffic. A lot of people seem to think it doesn't fucking matter. And they really seem to fucking think it's really okay to be in the right lane. You see where I'm going with this? So, if you're a driver and you're coming up to a red light, now but you're an aware driver, so you're looking in your rear view mirror and you see there's traffic. And you want to be a good driver. And you want to be an aware driver. And a driver that makes traffic flow better. That's what this is all about, is fucking flow. Keep moving. Right? That's why we're in fucking vehicles, right? We want to get to someplace faster than fucking walking. Anyway, that's just how I talk. Don't be in that right-hand lane unless you need to turn right. Because maybe someone will come up behind you and they'd like to turn right, but no, you just want to be the fucking dick who said, you know what, you're going to wait till I get to go. No. Fuckface. Go to the fucking left. Now, I didn't think of that, but I learned that around, like, probably 20. Because I never thought like that. I thought both lanes, same shit, same pile. But then one day, my mom, she's driving, and she's an aggressive driver, and she's passionate about driving. It's a game to her. She just gets livid at this motherfucker that's in the right turn lane. And so she goes around to turn right. Because this guy, and so if that light had turned green, if she'd mistimed that, he could have taken off and fucking hit her, right? Which hopefully he was aware. You'd hope at least one of the 2 people involved would be aware. Sometimes that's not the case. And I'll close on this little story. One day, in a world. One day I was in a parking lot of probably a Walmart. This couldn't happen anywhere but at Walmart. Definitely wouldn't happen in a fucking... You know why this shit wouldn't happen in a fucking... any place but a Walmart? Because Walmart people can afford cars with fucking sensors. And that's just a fucking fact. You get 2 drivers, only one of them can afford sensors. At the most. So, anyway. I'm walking into the store. As I always fucking cringe when I do. And I see this one old lady start backing up her fucking boat. This is a 70-something boat, right? And I see this another old lady. And why they gotta be old ladies? Why can't they be black? Because they're old ladies. Why are you so fucking old lady racist? Anyway, they're both white old ladies. Shitty fucking people with horrible hearts. You know it. Good Christians, as I like to call them. Fuck. Anyway, I see the one backing up and the one going forward. I'm like, one of them's gonna stop. One of them's gonna see the other. One of them's using their fucking vision for something. But no, they get closer, and I'm like, okay, let's let the vision kick in for the old people. Use the fucking mirror. Use your fucking eyes. Nope. And then they hit. Not only do they hit, they keep going until they couldn't go anymore. They're both going very slow. But I was just like, what the fuck? Are they just a cring? It just fucking happens. And it was a scene. And I just kept fucking walking. Not my fucking problem. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is be aware. And I'll finish with, I'm turning on 7th Street here. I'm on Indian School right now in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm heading to the VA. And I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking until I get to the light, which is about 2 football fields away. So I got Panda, Burger King, McDonald's. I got 2 cars in front of me. One's applying the brakes. I got one to the left of me in my blind spot. I can see my rearview mirror. One behind him, which is the same guy in the mirror. I come out to a street. This guy's still on his fucking brakes. And we're hitting 7th Street. He's turning right. He's got his right signal on. The other guy, he was applying his fucking brakes for like a quarter fucking mile. It's a red light, left turn thing. Yes, I'm 105. Green light, yellow arrow that way. And nobody's crossing the street. Okay, I'm crossing the street. I'm accelerating. And I am going to go into the VA. We got 3 people on the right. When I was in, I did UPS for a bit. Anything that was a potential hazard, we just called dirt. Got dirt here, got dirt here, got dirt here, got dirt here. So I'm pulling into the VA. I'm turning left. There's no fucking problems. I don't have a stop sign. They do have a stop sign. Here comes a car on my left. Not a problem. He didn't stop at the stop sign, no fuckface. You don't know if there's a fucking pedestrian. You don't know what the fuck's going on. It's simple. You know, the thing is with driving, it's not a fucking rush. You think it's a rush? Try fucking walking. Jesus Christ. There's no fucking reason not to stop. There's signs here seeing people walking. People will not fucking stop. I've had people run over my goddamn fucking feet and I punch their fucking car. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if fucking Andre the Giant walks out. You run over my goddamn foot, I'm gonna punch your fucking car. And you can take that to the bank. It's amazing. I can get so riled up and just fucking laugh about it. I can't believe I'm at the VA 10:30, but I got an MRI. So anyway, if you listen to this 1333 of this bullshit, now it's going to extend beyond that. Thank you. I hope I entertain you somewhat, that you would want to come back and listen to more. I will have driving tips. I'm going to get a dash cam. Fuck, I'm in handicap parking. One thing not to do is park in handicap parking. There we go. And then try to visualize and show you, or also use a whiteboard. I really want to do this because I hope people watch, because it's important to think of others when you're driving. Okay. You don't know what's going on with anybody's lives. Don't be self-centered and focused on your phone. I know I multitask. I was multitasking this whole fucking video, right? Hey, what are you telling me? I can't. No, but the whole time I'm watching the road. You know, I'm doing a bunch of things. And yeah, I admit, every time I glance at that, I'm not glancing at the road. But what I did do is evaluate, do I have time to glance at this? If a fucking raccoon jumps in front of me, I'm sorry for the fucking raccoon. But I'm in the city. I don't expect raccoons and fucking deer to fucking... And I've already evaluated the sidewalks. So I've done my radar. And I even tell it to my daughter, and I fucking read signs, and I'm doing all that shit at the same time. So it's amazing what we can do, what we can compute, and then you add like music, and then you add like if you're texting and stuff like that, those things just totally dilute the clarity of whatever decision making capabilities you have. So with driving, like literally, I drive like over 50,000 miles a year, and I've never been in an accident. I've avoided plenty of accidents. I've avoided, like I had a guy, I would call it, I guess it was like, this is going to go over that 1333 I talked about 2 minutes ago. But anyway, if I was going straight and I was in a rural area, so there was this combine, like big tractor kind of thing, driving kind of on the side and the shoulder. And this claw, that's a tractor. If you don't fucking know what a claw is, then whatever, it's a tractor. And so it's driving down the road. Anyway, and I'm so on the, there's only like two lanes, one going one way, one going the other way. And he's driving on the shoulder, so you can kind of pass him. And so I was coming up to an intersection, and it was I had the right of way, like there was no stop sign on our way. We were on the main highway kind of thing, main shitty highway, and that thing was kind of a smaller road. And he came up, and I saw a car far away, like kind of approaching the intersection, and I'm thinking, this guy's not going to see me because of this tractor. Okay, that was my thought process. I'm all like, even though I'm listening to music, and I'm probably thinking about like boners, or why don't we keep saying boners? Anyway, I've only said it twice. Anyway, my thought process is always, I want to get wherever I'm going. That particular time, I was heading to a military base for work. I was in Yuma, going to the Marine Corps base, and I lived off base, which was really nice. I had my own trailer. I lived in a trailer. Can you believe that? Me, I lived in a trailer. I belong in a car. Anyway, I couldn't believe I was living in a luxury in a trailer. Actually, it was a really nice trailer. I loved it. Anyway, so Jim, come back. I thought this guy, better, sorry. And that light. There we go. I'll do that for you. Anyway, so this guy, this is pretty amateur video. Amateur video starring Jim Smith. How you doing? Oh shit. Anyway, I gotta get in here pretty quick. I thought for sure this guy was gonna, scary. I must be nervous about this test. Anyway, I saw this guy coming, and I thought for sure he wasn't going to see me because of the combine. So I anticipated it, and this guy blew this fucking stop sign to beat the combine, and I'd already applied my brakes, and he still hit me. But he let's see, yeah, this looks pretty good. So I'm going this way, and he's coming this way, and he's supposed to stop. This combine's here, and he just comes in, and I'm here, and I'd already applied my brakes because I was like back here when the combine was here, and I thought, fuck, this guy's here, he's not going to see me here, and this is my ear, by the way, and this is light. Where is it? Beaming from my finger. So he came and sideswiped my left door, my driver door. It was a 2-door car. 2 doors. So it just transferred paint. So I had white paint. It didn't even create a dent. And we pulled over, and I was in my camis, and I said, we don't need to call insurance companies. You just gotta let me beat you up for like 5 minutes. And he said, serious? And I said, well, it's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you if you want to call your insurance company and we can call police and we can make a report that you ran a red light. That we got this guy right here at the combine. He saw the whole fucking thing. Or we could just, you know, you'll heal. And I won't hit your nose. And he said, okay. But I lied to him. And I murdered him. I'm just kidding. He got away with it because he gave me his license. I murdered him. What a fucking idiot. I took his license and I took his word for it that he would take care of it, and he gave me a fake phone number. So I spent $5 at AutoZone, got rubbing compound, and fixed it, so it wasn't a big deal. But had I not applied the brake, it could have been a real fucking deal. I would have T-boned him, and it would have been totally fine. You know, I like T-bone. T-bone! Wasn't there some guy who wants to be called T-bone? Wasn't it George Costanza who wanted to be called T-bone? Anyway, I just went 8 minutes over the 13:33 in 29 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for watching. I know I was entertained. I'm going to go have an MRI now, and we'll see what's going on with my brain, because it hurts. Thank you.